This is Matt from the Dice at the Round Table. Thanks for tuning in to this one. This is going to be a how-to video, if you want to say, of what I've been doing so far. So let's get to the basics. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel if you appreciate some of the content, and also like this video if you find it helpful. Questions or other ideas, by all means, please put in the comments. We're looking for ways to expand what we're doing. So what am I talking about? Remote gaming today. And I've done some clips, I've posted some pictures in some different gaming groups, and there's been a lot of questions of how. I understand there's Tabletop Simulator. That is fine. I am looking for something that, granted, this does require a computer, but I don't want to just be stuck with a computer. So what I'm talking about is remote gaming. One person hosting, and you could have one or more people come in. Some people do this with role-playing games already, but not much as far as tabletop games. And I've had some questions asking me how we've done it. I've done about 3 games so far. It's April 2020. COVID's in place in the United States. For my state, we've been asked to stay at home for about 4 days now, into April. But before this, we were kind of put restrictions and asked not to do this, and this was closed, blah, blah, blah. But for me, trying to get miniatures moved, rolling dice, that's one of the things I do like doing this over Tabletop Simulator, is being able to roll dice. You get to see stuff and play with it and move it around. So I'm going to talk about a couple different options. The limitations are you need someone who has a webcam, someone with a tripod, ideally. You could probably get away with the phone, but the key is being able to see the board. Tabletop Simulator, you can make a really big play area. You can move around the camera angles. That has a big plus. This, a 4x4, is pushing it for me without doing it. I think a 3x3 is the perfect sweet spot. Otherwise, you're going to have to move your camera around so the other person can see it. So one person hosting, how are you going to do that? I've been trying to find ways to do it on the least expensive possible. If you don't have a web camera or tripod, you can try to use a computer that has a camera built in. But understand, depending on the age of the device, will limit if there's a lag issue and the photo quality that you're going to get through it. And you're going to have to angle the camera, the top, because usually the camera is at the top of the screen. So you're going to have to angle it a little bit. And you're also going to lose the fact that you're not going to be able to see someone, where if you're with a tripod and a camera, you have some distance. I can look at the screen and see the other person, and we can still chat. And a webcam at least will pick up some audio. So let's get into the software, shall we? Some of the software I've played with, I have played with Zoom. Zoom has been in the news recently with some security issues about anyone can join a meeting if they just randomly push on some things. But in order to use Zoom, you want to host a meeting with video on. And once you get in here, you're going to open up Zoom. It's going to bring something down into your computer. It's going to launch a new window. Connecting, boom. I'm going to join with the computer audio, flip this to full screen, and now you can see me. But I'm looking at the computer right now. So this is running through my web camera. So I have done this, and I have taken streams with this and angled my web camera to look down at the board. What I have set up is, this is 2 MDF slats, 2x2s, so it makes a 4x4 total. It's a 2-inch grid on here, and we found this very useful for someone to gauge distances on a miniature game. It really crimps anyone who wants to play by the rules for pre-measuring, but at the end of the day, it does allow someone the ease to see what they're pre-measuring. This is my 3x3. and you're going to see, yes, it's a smaller area. However, I can pick the entire area up on my camera with very little issue. So otherwise, to get the 4x4, you need to get very creative sometimes to get the picture necessary. So that gives me my 4x4 view. My 3x3, I can get much closer and get basically the entire thing. That's showing you that. On the screen, I need to invite people. Invite. You can copy the invitation and then paste it in a messenger or paste it in an email. If you want to send an email out, you can do that. And all the person's going to have to do, click on it. It's going to have to, if it's on a phone, they're going to have to download, make sure they have the app. If it's on the internet, it should open up. They come into the chat. If you're the hoster, make sure you test your setup. Make sure you test the angle, the placement. That way you cut down, you can't see my face. So make sure you're testing that beforehand, because you want to make sure you got things in place. If you're a participant, have dice ready. If there's stack cards, have your stack cards in front of you. I played bolt action. I had my person that was on the other side. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's Zoom. I can end the meeting later. Don't care. The other one I was using is Google Hangouts. So if you're in Google, go up to the little square up there and then go find Hangouts. Once you find Hangouts, same thing. You can start a video call. And then you can send out your invites. You can copy the link and share it with other people. And very similar, you can see that you have this set up and the camera again is set on my tripod. I feel like Google gives me a better video quality. I don't know what it is about it, but you make the judgment call. I showed you the video through Google and I've shown the video through Zoom now. At this point, I feel like Google Hangouts just gives a nicer video color quality. That's the software. Now let's talk about a couple little practicals. To wrap up the video, I showed you Google Hangouts. I showed you Zoom chat. Both I have used. I kind of feel like Google, like I said, kind of gives, at least for my setup, a better video quality. They both have run just fine. They both should have, if I'm correct. I know Zoom does. I don't remember how to get to it, but they both should be able to let you record if you want to generate YouTube content, like I've done with at least 2 of my plays. Now, what would I say? Again, the hosting party, whoever's hosting this, test your setup, test your angles, make sure you got everything so it's very easy for the other person to see and make decisions. Make sure you're communicating well with what, if it's a miniature game, what's on those different things. What is it? If you have to do it 1,000 times during a game, do it 1,000 times. But both parties, it's fun. This is fun. Please, I don't think we could go super ruly, super turny style gameplay here. Those that are participating from afar, please be honest with your rolls. Roll the dice. So far, everyone I've played, I'm not asking to see proof of the dice rolls. I'm just here to have fun and enjoy the games that we've owned and we spent time putting together, learning the rules. If this right now, let's get together, have fun, engage with people, build relationships. Might be able to building relationships with someone in a different country right now because you both just have a desire to game. But have the participant be able to do something, roll their own dice. In bolt action, I had who I was playing pull all the dice out of the bag. That way they just told me what it was. Have the other person be as engaged as possible, because some games, maybe they're not that engaged and they're tuning out. for when it's their turn. And maybe that's why they're asking all those questions. If you're hosting, have some patience. Those that are playing from afar, just make sure you're paying attention. Don't wander off into your electronics and a chat and something else that you're doing. Give some time into the game. And again, just like if it was real life, see how they're doing. Check in. Gaming is social. Remember, this is what we miss, the interaction with other people with a passion for our game. So with that, I'm going to end off with, if you got comments, if you have another idea for a remote game besides Tabletop Simulator or a different software program to do this, we're looking at using our miniatures, using our terrain on the board. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.